I think the main question I get from people is, what's so great about BlackBerry? Why do you keep saying BlackBerry is the best? And what do you like about BlackBerry that's so fantastic? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that and why I think you should pick up a BlackBerry, in particular, the BlackBerry Passport. Let's get into it. So for starters, in no means is this video to say that BlackBerry is top dog or all the other operating systems are garbage, because that I would be a hypocrite, because I have several different operating systems here right in front of me, and I enjoy them. But it's just a known fact that people often ask people who use a BlackBerry as their primary device. And so let me back up real quick. This is my primary device. I have two other lines, but I have an iPhone on one and the G3 on the other. But people often ask, how can you put BlackBerry on such a high pedestal? And I think in response to that is mainly, it's not that I'm putting them on a high pedestal. I've just figured out how great they really are. And the BlackBerry OS now is at its peak from where it's come from. So compared to all the other BlackBerries that I've owned, I just think the BlackBerry Passport is really good, and it can do anything you need it to do without issues. Now obviously I don't have my OG one anymore. I switched to the AT&T variant, because I wanted the different design. Basically that's it, but it's the same operating system. And it's nothing different. It's still a great experience. Battery, camera, screen, everything's the same. Just built a little different around the bottom and the corners here. It's a beautiful day. I've got the windows open, so if you hear a little noise, it's probably about 80-90 degrees here, so it's, feels great. Got the wind coming in. But nonetheless, the BlackBerry Passport is a device that I would recommend over the Classic. And some of you never saw my video on the Classic is because I decided not to even post it. I bought the Classic last weekend, I believe it was. Yeah, was it last weekend? Yeah, it was actually on the 14th. Picked up the Classic, and the keyboard, believe it or not, it's going to sound strange, but I couldn't get used to the keyboard. I was so used to having the numbers up top like this, and being able to control them like this, I just couldn't get used to it. I've gotten used to the on-screen numbers. There's no Alt key needed. There's just a ton of things. This keyboard is touch sensitive. There's a number of reasons why I think the BlackBerry Passport is a lot better than the Classic. The camera, just the overall feel of using the keyboard on the Classic was not good. So I just decided, you know what? I'm not even going to put up a video on this. I'm just going to get rid of it. I took it right back to the AT&T store and just returned it. It just wasn't worth, and I only paid $40 for it, I think, or something like that. But it still just wasn't worth it. The experience on it was not the same as the BlackBerry Passport. The BlackBerry Passport, if you've never used one, you're probably going to think that you can't get used to this body here. You would be wrong, though, because the BlackBerry Passport, once you use it, it's just like that feeling you have. Shout out to Roland on Google Plus and Twitter and Instagram. I was talking to him, and I told him, I said, it's that feeling that you have, that you had when you first started using like a Nexus 6, a real big device, Quad HD display, just a big phone in general. The Mate 2, all of these phones, it's that excitement that you got from the Note 4 when you first picked it up and you thought, wow, this is like the perfect size. That's kind of where the BlackBerry Passport is, and it'll make you feel that way once you use it. Using a regular keyboard on a phone, the touchscreen, it'll get weird after having used the Passport, and it's like that with all things. If you're in a small phone and you go to a big one, then you try to go back to the small one, it's going to feel like, this doesn't feel right. But nonetheless, the BlackBerry Passport has a lot to offer. So the first thing I want to talk about was this so-called app gap. I think that when new devices come to the market, and it doesn't just happen to BlackBerry, it happens to Android and iOS, everything. It happens to everybody who brings a new device to the market. People are going to judge you by it without even using it. Some people will listen to exactly what's going on the internet, and they believe everything they read on the internet. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to believe me either. I'm just saying go into a local store. If you're interested and you're on the fence about it, go into a local store and try it and then buy it. Don't, because if you're on the fence about it, that means that you're probably interested in it and you really want to try it. I have a lot of messages like that where the people are saying, man, I really want to get this thing, but I don't know. I just posted on Google on my blog, and I'll tell you some of the things I posted on there for this is what you should not do. You shouldn't waste your time and overthinking it and trying to talk yourself out of it. Don't try to find reasons not to buy it. And don't try to find reasons for what you heard online. Oh, it's just not. Don't talk yourself out of it, because that's what happens a lot when you're looking for something new. You'll look for it. You'll watch video. Today's world, you go on YouTube, you watch a bunch of videos on a device that you don't have yet, and then you end up talking yourself out of it, and you end up not getting it. So I would say don't do that. Don't talk yourself out of it. Next thing is, don't listen to everything that people say when they say, oh, it's not that good, man, it's not that good. Don't listen to that. Don't believe everything you read on the internet about BlackBerry 10, the operating system, not even just this phone, just BlackBerry 10. Don't believe it. I think if you want a keyboard device, obviously there's the Classic, there's the Q10, there's the Q5, there's the Passport. I'm going to recommend the Passport over all of them, saying that I've used them. And the keyboard experience on here, this isn't just a regular keyboard. It's got a 3-row touch-sensitive keyboard, and there's tons of things you can do with the keyboard, scrolling and everything. So I've already got a full review up on the keyboard, so check that out if you haven't already. I'll put a link in the description more likely. But another thing is, try to shop around for the best price. So if you're willing to get the AT&T one, you can pay $650 full cost, or you can do $199 on a 2-year contract, or you can do that program where you pay monthly. I don't recommend the monthly one, I guess, but it depends on your budget. So if that's what you want to do, I'm totally with you on that. And if you can buy it unlocked, get the unlocked version too. That's a good thing. But if you get the AT&T version full cost, you'll be able to unlock it. Or after having your phone for 3 months, you'll be able to unlock it with AT&T. You have to pay 3 bills or something like that, and you have to be in good standing, whatever the case may be. But you can still get it unlocked even if it's not paid in full. And if you do get it, use it like you would the device you're coming from. Do everything the same. If the app isn't there that you're looking for, like Chase or whatever, just go ahead and use the web app and put the link on your desktop here. Like this looks like an application, but the last two there, that Gmail and that PayPal and that Google Plus up there, those are all web apps. I just put them there, just for demo. You just save it to your desktop or your home screen, and it looks like the real deal. I mean, it just opens up into the web, and there's nothing different. You see, so it's ways to get around and make sacrifices when you're dealing with an operating system that doesn't have the apps that you need in the App Store. Some people are just so caught up on having the app, they just can't see past that, and they think it's just the worst thing ever when there's always an alternative. And the last thing is, I would say buy a couple of cases. Now with the AT&T version, there are no cases, just that one, which is way too bulky, and I don't really like body gloves anymore. The texture on them is not that great. But buy a couple of cases. That way you can keep yourself interested in it, and you can have different modes. Buy a folio case for when you're at business or going out to dinner or something, and then get a snap-on case for your daily use. Ultra thin case, just for if you want to, don't fill it too much in your pocket. You want a real slim case. Nonetheless, give yourself some options. Also, the display itself on the BlackBerry Passport, I'm going to directly talk about the BlackBerry Passport now, why I think you should get one if you're interested in switching to BlackBerry, or you're interested in upgrading your current BlackBerry, because that's another thing. On my channel, I'll put my channel pin up I'll flash it up, or I'll put it in the description as well. People often ask, like, man, I'm using a Z30 right now, or I'm using a Z10, or I'm using just whatever. I really want to get the Passport, but I don't know why I can't pull the trigger. Here's some things to help you pull the trigger. The display on this thing is 1440 by 1440, and it's a 4.5-inch square display. That gives you, for techies, that gives you a high resolution of 453 for the pixel count. For regular world people, you're going to be blown away at how sharp this display is. The 3-row touch sensitive keyboard, that's another thing. This is just amazing. This is really good. It has a 13 megapixel camera on the back, which is really nice, regardless of much. And cameras are subjective. I try to be objective in most of the videos, but cameras, you might not agree with what I said, and you might think it's bad when I think it's good. But the camera on here, I've said it in 1,000 other videos, lower your standards on your cell phone camera. If you're choosing to buy a device that costs $700, you can't be mad if it doesn't perform to what you want, because technically you can get a DSLR for $450 now. So don't expect too much out of your cell phone, because people are not doing full-fledged videos with their cell phones. They're doing that with a real camera. So, but in the same token, this camera is really, really good. It can really handle some of your day-to-day tasks, and even shoot a small video if you want to. It just depends on what kind of software you have. If it doesn't come out the way you want, you can chop that thing up and have a full-blown YouTube video directly from your phone. The body on here is metal. It's this beam that runs down the middle of the device, but the AT&T version, they brung the metal up. They brung it up all the way around. On the OG version, it's separated. You can see black here, and then metal in the middle, and then black on the back. But the build quality on this thing, if you throw it across the wall, throw it across the room, and it hits the wall and falls, it probably won't break on the first drop there. Very sturdy. It does weigh 196 grams, but you really can't tell. It feels really good. Once you start using it, you'll be just blown away how much you actually like the Passport. 32 gigs of on-built storage is the minimum I think should be on cell phones, and this phone is no exception. It has 32 gigs built on, and you get an SD card slot that holds up to 128 gigs. That is really good. You get 3 gigs of RAM, so the multitasking is going to be really, really nice. You won't be disappointed with this. The quad-core processor that's in BlackBerry is kind of like an iPhone. I don't think iPhones need quad-core processors, and they don't have them. If this had a dual-core processor, technically it'll run really smooth already, because look at the other dual-core BlackBerries that are out there running on OS X. They run flawlessly, no problems. So this does have a quad-core processor though, and it's a nice one. So you're getting a really high-end processor in the AT&T version or the unlocked version. They're the same. They just look different. But you're getting a high-end processor, and that's just a few things that I want to point out that you're actually getting that's worth getting. It's the device itself should not scare you away because it's square, so to speak. Because I can think of another phone, which is the Sony Xperia Ultra Z. It's the same width as this, and it's even longer. So there's tons of devices out there that are already awkward in the shape. The Nexus 6 is a really big device. The Mate 2 4G LTE is a really big device, but it feels great. It doesn't feel bad in your pocket. It doesn't feel bad in your hand, and you're getting something to go along with that. But this device in particular, there are so many pluses. The list could go on and on. All I can tell you is the people who send messages privately to me saying, hey, should I get this? What do you think? I just watched your video. I love it, but I'm just on the fence about it. Don't worry about applications, because we have now the Amazon App Store, and it doesn't have all the applications of iOS and Android, but it has enough to where, like, my personal situation is, the only apps that I need that are not in the App Store is Google Plus, and I think that's it. I can get Chase from the Amazon store. My other credit union is actually in the BlackBerry world, and my other bank is in there as well. I don't really use it on my mobile phone though, but everything is in here that I need except for Google Plus, and that's it. And everything else, I'm fine with doing it through the browser. I think you really have to set some realistic expectations, especially if you're switching operating systems. Don't go into another operating system and think it's going to be like your old phone, because you need to really cut those cords from your old phone if you're looking to switch to BlackBerry or iOS or Android. If you're going from Android to iOS or BlackBerry, just be realistic. You really don't have to do much homework. The thing is, if you can't find an application, use the web app and just pin it to your home screen like I do. Some people don't want to do that, and why, I just don't know. The application runs the exact same as the web app. The web app is actually better because it's in mobile mode right there, but I can actually go into full screen mode and get all the perks of having the full web browser right on this beautiful 4.5-inch display. So as far as applications go, I'm not going to lie and say that BlackBerry is writing, and they don't even have as many in the App Store that I need as Windows Phone. And that's another solid operating system as well, which I love and use. But that doesn't mean that you cannot use this as your daily driver. And when I say daily driver, yes, I have other phones around, but what phone do I leave the house with every day? It's the BlackBerry. Last night, I went out to dinner and I took the G3 with me because I just got this new case. And this is actually a gray one now, as you can see. The white one, I got rid of it, but man, I missed it so much. I just went back and bought the gray one, or black, or whatever you want to call it. And then I put another tempered glass on there and bought the black case exactly like I had for the white setup. I just bought all this that matches. In any event, it was, I haven't had this very long, so just a couple days, I think, and I was playing with it. I said, I'll leave the BlackBerry at home and I'll take the LG with me. Man, I signed into BBM on here because you can do that. You can switch back and forth, and it just wasn't the same. I can use this as my daily driver, of course, but once you get into the ecosystem of BlackBerry, it'll be hard for you to get out. Like, I'm heavily invested in Windows Phone, and when I say invested, I mean I've spent money in all of these. I spent money in BlackBerry world, I spent money in iOS, a lot in there, and a lot in Android, and even Windows Phone I've got money invested. So pretty much all the operating systems, I've got money invested in them. So I don't feel bad when I have either one because I'm buying things that I need on each one. But I can't tell you enough how much you should try the BlackBerry Passport or the Classic if that's your thing. If you think the Passport is going to be too bulky for you or too big, try the Classic. I personally, at the beginning of this video, like I said, I didn't like the Classic, and I didn't even bother to do an unboxing, anything. I just hurried up and took it back. I just couldn't get used to it because my plan was to because I have 3 lines, so I was going to put the Classic on the other line and then the BlackBerry Leap on the other line. But, the Classic just didn't do it for me, so I just couldn't do it, and it didn't last very long. So, but anyway, I think you should really give BlackBerry 10, the operating system, a try. There's other phones like the Z10 that are amazing. If you don't want to spend this much money and you want to be unlocked in full cost not under a contract, get something like a Z30 or a Q10 or a Q5 or a Z10. Try the operating system out and give it a chance. Use it like you would use your own phone that you are using currently that you don't want to use anymore, and just blow through it. Don't look back, because if you continue to doubt yourself, or you continue to try to figure out ways that you won't like it, you won't enjoy it. You're not giving yourself a chance to grow and learn about this fantastic operating system that BlackBerry is offering here. In particular, the BlackBerry Passport is a beast, man. I can't stress it enough. If you follow me on Google Plus, especially on Instagram, I post a lot of stuff on Instagram. You will know that how I really feel about this device. It is a killer device. So I will see you guys in the next one. I'm probably going to put this up again. I already did a video against the iPhone 6. People have been asking for the iPhone 6 Plus, so I might do that. Also, this device right here, to me, is better than the iPhone 6 Plus because it has the LG G3. It has the same size screen. It's smaller. It's got more. It's got an SD card. It's way more features, and it's just great. So I might put it up against this one as well. But people have been asking for the iPhone 6 Plus. Why? I don't know. But again, some people might be trying to make a decision. Maybe they're trying to get rid of their iPhone 6 Plus and move over to the big dogs, which is, I shouldn't say that. They just want to switch operating systems, so they want to give the BlackBerry Passport a go. So I would suggest that it's nowadays, you can't just walk into a store and use it. You got to take it home and really get the feel for it. Set it up and use it and keep it. So, Team BlackBerry, all day. I will shout you guys out in the next video, Team BlackBerry all day. I will see you guys. Stay tuned for another video coming soon. I've got some great stuff coming in the mail. Yes, BlackBerry Leap. I gotta have that in my catalog. And S6 an S6 Edge. Look out for those. I've got some cases already on the way for those, actually. Shout out to Oblique in advance for sending me out some stuff for the S6 and S6 Edge. So I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to hit those links in the description. Come over and join my channel on BlackBerry. It's growing really fast. Lots of people there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Links in the description. Like the video, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Support your boy J Will. I will see you guys in the next video. This video was all about BlackBerry. Take care. I think the main question I get from people is, what's so great about BlackBerry? Why do you keep saying BlackBerry is the best? And what do you like about BlackBerry that's so fantastic? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that and why I think you should pick up a BlackBerry, in particular, the BlackBerry Passport. Let's get into it.